Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Gex Enter the Gecko. We completed quite a few things in the last video. There was Mushy Pork, there was the cop bonus level in Dragnet, and we also beat Lava Dabba Doo, which was a secret level that we unlocked shortly after all that. And despite not doing a practice run on it and losing a few lives, I still managed to make it through that area regardless and get a secret red remote regardless. And now we need to make our way to... where is it? Well, first off, there is the green gate. Well, there is the red gate, but there is also the green gate. Now, if we were to go into the green gate, now that we have 14 red remotes obtained, we will find Gexzilla versus Mecha-Rez, which was shown in the demo I showed in the very first episode. But that won't really give us much. Also, there are these levels as well. Poltergex, Honey, I Shrunk the Gex, or Honey, I Shrunk the Gecko, and this old cave. We have quite a lot of levels to do, now that we've really opened some things up. However, I do want to take on a area in the red area, so we're going to go ahead and do just that, and thankfully we can just ride the platform over to here and we can actually see things in this area. Let's see what is over here. There is Pangeo 90210. There is the Umpire Strikes Out, which is a space level, and there's Fine Tooning. Fine Tooning was the one that I practiced first. And there are two remotes, there is a reward, and there is a hidden one. Thankfully, I practiced the entire level, so I know now where everything is. And we're gonna go for Climb the Tree, though don't be surprised if I do the ship one first.
Look, I just wanted the gift shop and the bathroom.
So we start out over here in another cartoon level. This does look rather familiar. After all, we did do Tuned In for the very first video. We've come a long way since then. And we're going to come an even longer way because there's going to be so many levels for us to do now that we have gone everything for everything so far in every place we've been. And I believe that because of that, this game has really been broken wide open. And actually, you know what? I'm going to switch it to manual because semi-auto has finally had its day. I'm sorry. After all the shenanigans that it's put me through, I hate it. I want complete control of the camera, thank you so much. I don't want the camera moving on me while I'm trying to line something up. Finally got frustrated with semi-auto during the practice run, as you can see. And I'm gonna allow for this to chase me around. I'm gonna get these carrots. I'm gonna get these tier 1 collectibles. And I want to make my way back here for this platform, which we're going to long jump to.
3 more and I have the whole set.
Well, actually we need 5 more, but anyway, here are some dominoes. They don't exactly hurt you per se, as far as I'm aware, but you do want to tail whip your way through that area because those things spawn infinitely and they can become a pain. And I collected 3 carrots at the same time, but the 2 of them ended up being the spinach cans. Nice. And I thought so. There was a can of spinach in that can. But that just took me back to the beginning. I don't mind though. Because Backtracking is a snap. Get over there. Thank you. Alright. Because I looked at that tree and I'm like, you know what? I'm probably missing something. And as soon as you start climbing up this hill, you'll start seeing falling bowling balls. They always fall from right to left, and when the leftmost one falls, they start falling from the right again. So you want to be very careful. Also, after getting some succotash cans from these guys, I know they're Spanish, but I might as well throw that in there because I know I'm going to say it eventually. I'm going to drop down here just to be safe, and to show off what happens in case you fall in this area. You're going to have to hit all 3 of these things. These little strongman contest things will trigger the blocks. Different ones will cause different blocks to do different things. And those blocks do not stay in that position for long. They return back to the stack that they were in when you're done. And they can even reform right there in the center of the pit area there. Even if you're trying to make your way back up. So once you have all 3 up there, you only have like a very limited time. And thankfully, I usually grab that platform with my tongue anyway. And as long as you keep running and jumping at the edge of those platforms, that should not be a hard area to get through. And of course, when you do make it here, hitting the checkpoint is the first thing that you want to do. Because you don't want to go through all that again. Speaking of things to go through, there is another one of these B things that you have to avoid, and there's a hard head area at the same time. You have to be ready to long jump as soon as you are able to make your way over there, because that's probably your best bet at making it over there. And by hitting the target, the little strongman contest target, you will cause those platforms that come in and out to show up. You want that, because that's how you're going to get to the next area. Also, if you fall down here, you now have a wonderful shortcut in the form of that sticky wall. And I jumped too early. Thankfully, I can always get around here. Where is it? There it is. Thought it was lined up, but apparently I wasn't. Now, if you go past where this encased ship is, there is health, but you will have to endure a hard head area with falling objects to get it. But if you go up here after getting the thing set up, I don't know why I did that, you get this little faux side-scrolling area where you run to one side on the lower deck, and then you get on the upper deck. When you get to the other side, it will lower by then, and thankfully you will be able to do a wraparound jump. Now when you get over here and you get to the top of that first platform, or rather to the center of the first platform, don't be surprised if the camera suddenly starts moving again out of that 2D frame of mind. Because it will. And it will knock you for a loop. Also, that target I just hit, that little strongman contest thing, that opened up that little well. It took the metal grate off of it. And we will end up at the other one where we found a continue point. I am going to show off how to get through both of these first. And I want to get the reward remote as soon as possible. So I'm going to be doing that too. And how am I doing on health? I do need an extra hit then. Okay. Now if you were to go in here, you end up pretty much back to where the checkpoint was. Which is something you want to do. If you want to go for the ship one. But if you go over here, there'll be these spinning platforms, and when you get on them, you want to keep tail bouncing continuously. As soon as the top of them is flat, or something like that. As long as you keep tail bouncing to the other side, you should be good. Ow. And by hitting this target, these things will move back and forth. When that happens, you will be able to move between the blocks when they are the furthest distance apart possible. And I'm going through here on purpose and then getting out. Well, we had rabbit season in the first Toon level. We might as well do duck season here. And of course, as usual, we have the hunters. We take care of them just like we did the first time. Might as well go ahead and get those collectibles too. By the way, you want to check bushes too, because that's how you're also going to get some collectibles as well. So keep that in mind. And we are now at the bottom of this area. We want to be very careful. Also, that shadow there means there was a collectible inside that tree.
The government told me these experiments were over.
And speaking of these things, there are more of them in these branches in that bush. Now, what we want to do, there is some health there if you want it there, by the way, but I never go for it. You want to keep jumping in the same direction the rolling branch is going. This is quite possibly the hardest part of the climb the tree remote. You basically want to tail bounce on it when it comes, tail bounce to it rather, when it stops, and you want to make your way over there. Why are you not getting on it now? That is incredible. Get on it! Game, you let me do this before. And you want to keep tail bouncing in the direction that the branch is going, because if you do that, you're going to have a much easier time following the branch. As long as you keep doing that and going forward at the same time. And we now have our red remote. Or silver remote, really, actually. We don't have the red remote quite yet. By the way, if you can somehow get up here where the barrels are, you can somehow get to those barrels, which will contain a ton of collectibles. But as you can see, you don't necessarily need them to get the reward remote at all. So that is a thing. Also, by pressing the triangle button, you can get 3 distances out of the camera. So if the camera is way too close, press triangle once or twice. It should give you a little bit of room so we can see what you're looking at. And you should be able to make it through areas such as this one. And we have gotten the reward remote and the tree climbing remote. So there is that. Go ahead and update the save. And as soon as we get our game saved, we're going back in. I know that we've got 5 minutes left to go, but I'll go ahead and get some length for today's video because I know how to get the other one. And the silver one. We will be getting the silver one along with
This is like a luau
the
with Mel
other
Brooks.
red remote. And of course, I will be grabbing more collectibles as always, because you can never tell when you need lives. And let's make our way over here so we can
You will never possess the Necronomicon.
get things done, I guess. I completely lost track of what I was going to say. Do want to go over here regardless. And now that we've got that taken care of, we're going to go ahead and grab some more carrots over here. And I do want to make my way back here to the branches, so that way I can get pretty close to tier 2 now. And I'm going to long jump my way back to the dominoes. For some reason, they're always 6 5s. Weird.
It's tail time.
So now that that's over with, what we need to do is go back to that hatch that I mentioned earlier and open it. If we can do that, we'll be able
If this were a video game, I'd be on my way to prison.
to get the second red remote running. And I'm going to avoid going down there for the scorpion time this time, as much as I want to get more pickups. Wait for this thing to disappear. Grab the platform with the... Oh, I guess not. Nice. I guess I decided to be a little better with jumping this time. Let's go ahead and hit the remote here.
Your father, isn't it?
Let's get up here. And I don't know how I timed it that well, how I knew it was gonna disappear right there, but I did.
This is like a luau.
Now, you can probably notice the sailboat encased in glass. If we go into the hatch that I mentioned earlier, we will be able to get rid of the glass encasing just like that. That's actually how you get the ship open to you. Also, you want to be careful with this section, because it looks like, yeah, Gex turns it aside when you switch between left and right, and it can drive whoever is playing the game rather nuts. Get on the first platform, move to the center.
Damn IRS.
When you see the icon in the lower right, you know that the camera is able to be moved again. There's that remote, but how do we get there? Well, first of all, I'd like to get another extra life just to be safe, because you never know when
Can of Toon.
you need another one. Already up to 61 already. I know I've died a few times, but I thought maybe I'd have less than that. But there's that hatch. Can't believe I get hit by the piranha. That was not fun, but we do have some health here that we can pick up. Let's hit this. And you can tell by the sign here that by going in here you can unlock the ship. I know it looks like a steak with something on top of it, that, or a baked potato, but you just jump in the hatch. The ship will no longer be under glass. Go back to the ship, and to quote 6, come sail away with me. You get a little Popeye the Sailor Man jingle by doing this. This is how you get over here. Hit the target. You'll open the drawbridge. Now, you could go in there right away. Don't. You want to go off to the side a little bit. I just jumped there to be safe. I'm pretty sure you could walk that, but I don't want to chance it. And back here is the hidden remote. Now, if you go through here, this is a one-way invisible wall. And we are now stuck here with the rocket because the drawbridge is also going to be back up. What do? Well, you have these two fire power-ups that will always respawn, so that way you can't mess this up. There's no way you can mess it up. Just eat one of these, the monitor respawns. If you press and hold square, or whatever the tail whip button is, you can cause fire to trail behind you when you run. And if you run in a circle, you can do this thing. This little ring of fire that will torch any enemies. And if you do that and hit enemies with it, you can get more collectibles out of them. Managed to find that out while I was reading the manual before going to bed the night before I did this video. Now, when you tail whip with the fire power up and you hit the fuse, you'll get this music. You want to super jump onto the rocket itself, and you will be launched all the way over here. Congratulations, you now have the other red remote. And we have everything in Fine Tooning in the span of one video, which isn't all that hard when you know what to do. So let's go ahead and update the save here a little bit. And with the 20-minute... Oh, hey! There's a new bonus area in the Mushu Port Lounge. The spy who loved himself. We may have to do that in the next video, along with another level. So join me next time, where I do some more levels and get some more remotes, as always, but you kind of figured that was the point of each and every video in this series now, wasn't it? Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!